USAID workers are scrambling following a Trump administration order to all but shut down the organization. Employees are set to be placed on administrative leave Friday night, while arrangements are being made to bring workers outside the United States home. Earlier today, demonstrators as well as Democratic lawmakers gathered on Capitol Hill to protest the dismantling of the agency.
We are going to fight procedurally and shut down any processes we can that are complicit in this.
Lawmakers and members of the crowd raised criticism of the involvement of Elon Musk in cutting federal programs. They also defended the work of USAID, calling it critical for the United States.
If Elon Musk wins and our foreign assistance completely ends, who will cheer and who will win? The cartels will win, terrorists will win, Russia will win, China will win.
USAID has been one of the agencies hardest hit by Musk's wider budget cuts, targeting wasteful spending in federal programs. And former officials with the agency are raising the alarm.
If we are in a country where the richest man can decide that the richest country will no longer help some of the poorest people, we are in a very, very dire place.
But this is not just about USAID. Organized demonstrations are popping up across the country. Thousands protested the actions of the Trump administration outside the state capitals of Texas, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Indiana. Meanwhile, in Langley, Virginia, the CIA has sent out an agency-wide buyout offer to all of its employees. Workers can leave and get 8 months of pay. It's part of the president's plan to shrink the federal government. Many federal organizations have also extended similar offers, but the Central Intelligence Agency is the first major national security agency to do so. All this comes as tomorrow's deadline looms for other federal workers to accept or reject buyout offers. And for more on all of this, let's bring in Jonathan Bell, a federal labor attorney. Jonathan, great to be with you today. It is being reported that about 1% or about 20,000 workers so far have already taken the offer. That said, what are the stipulations of this buyout offer and who is eligible for it and who isn't?
It's really a crazy time. I've been representing federal employees for over 20 years, represented hundreds of thousands of them, and I've never seen anything like this during my tenure. I'm getting contracts sent to me left and right to review them, and the answer to your questions, quite simply, are each individual federal employee has to look at their unique circumstances to determine if this is a good offer. Basically, the offer is, like you said, 8 months of pay. They have to accept it by tomorrow midnight or just before midnight, the latest. They have to continue working until the end of the month during this transition. And then they basically have a paid vacation, accruing annual leave, sick leave, contributions to their TSP until September 30th. And after September 30th, they're basically out of a job. And during that time, they're actually allowed to work in the private sector so they could get another job and essentially double dip. But what I'm hesitant or telling federal employees to consider is there's something called discontinued service retirement, which people are not talking about, which when a job is, when you're subject to a RIF or they eliminate a position, the federal government has to offer you DSR, discontinued service retirement. That pays you for the rest of your life, not just 8 months. So if you've been working there for quite some time, like 20 years, you should really be considering that because that might trump any 8-month payment period. Very important you look at your individual facts and circumstances to determine if this is the right agreement for you.
Well, the people that are talking to you are very lucky because I'm sure a lot of people don't even know about that. And there's so much anxiety over this. And a lot of people, as you know, including a dozen attorneys general, are critical of this buyout offer. What's more, some claim it's illegal and say it's something that Congress actually needs to authorize. Jonathan, weigh in on this for us. I mean, is this buyout offer, is it legal and is it binding?
So that's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. This is uncharted territory, but I'm not telling people not to accept the offer. I'm not telling them to accept it. I'm saying that there are risks. There are certain challenges. Do I believe these people are going to be paid for 8 months? I do believe they are going to be paid. I do believe that the government's going to find funding if they're losing their job, they're turning in, they're getting rid of their rights to continue working for the federal government. I do believe ultimately it's going to be funded, however it's funded. I think they're going to get paid, but at the same time, it is being challenged. There are unions and other federal employees, federal employee lawyers telling the federal employees not to accept it, but I think that's a mistake. I think it depends. If you're only working for the government for a year or two, and maybe you're not happy with your job, in that situation, you might, and let's say you're looking for another job already, you might want to accept this buyout. But another problem with the buyout is if you have a pending case against the government, like you filed an EEOC case because you feel like the government discriminated against you, there's general release language in there that also is not being discussed. So you're waiving your right to pursue those claims.
Well, Jonathan, thank you for, shaking this all out for us. I know probably more questions than answers right now for these federal workers, but we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.